Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. I know I've not uploaded in a while, but I've been really working on this video as much as possible. I made a huge presentation. All my thoughts are here. I know what I'm gonna say. I don't have to hesitate, but here it is. How to get any job you want. I'm gonna go more into my background and qualifications of why I think I can do this video, but quick disclaimer, I just graduated college. I'm doing my master's currently. Don't take this as I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing. I know everything that I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. I've gone internships, externships, full-times, retail jobs, any jobs, lifeguarding certifications. I've hit every single target and I'm currently studying for my CPA for accounting. So I have a feeling I know enough to teach you guys a lot of the skills that you need to know to get any job you want. But again, we're gonna go more into details after why I think I'm qualified. What I'm gonna go over is background qualifications, what I just said about me, why you should trust me, not fully trust me, but why you should listen to me at least, how to do a perfect resume, how to apply for jobs. A lot of people don't know how to apply for jobs, how to prep for an interview, very important, the sheet that you need to do, the notes that you need to have, the actual interview, how do you behave yourself, how do you dress yourself, how do you stall for more time, and the next steps. After, what do you do after you did the interview, and what do you do while you're waiting for the interview? If you want to get a quick idea of what I'm going to say, here is my storyboard. This is what I'm going to go over. So if you want to skip to a certain sections, down below there's going to be chapters. If you look down, chapter 1 is going to be introduction, chapter 2 is going to be background. There's the specific times. If you want to skip ahead to, say, interview prep, be my guest. I'm not going to get offended. But for now, let's get into it. Let's go to chapter 2, which is background and qualifications. So my education. I went to University of Buffalo. I graduated in May 2024, very recently. I was cum laude, which is the Latin honors, meaning I got 3.25 GPA and above. Good enough for me. And now I'm currently doing my master's at FIU. I start literally in 10 days. I'm doing MS in accounting, and I'm expected to graduate in December 2025. Yes, December, not spring, because I'm doing a pre-master's next semester because I was missing 2 classes for the CPA requirement or to be able to take my master's. So that's why I'm not graduating in spring. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just some extra classes I had to take. But yeah, that was pretty much my education. All right, and now let's go into my experience. So there's a lot going on. I'm gonna give you kind of the gist of everything, the most important. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. My first internship was with High Commerce, which is right over here, where I was a marketing intern. That's how I first started college, marketing, but then started to hate it. During that time, I've been doing New York Road Runners right over here, volunteering, community service, but still very good to have on your resume. Also, while doing that, I was doing Apple Developing, which is a program where you can give feedback, help the software, help the people. I was in a small team where I could really talk to some people and give my advice, my opinions on what to improve, and I took it pretty seriously. And thanks to that, I was able to land an Apple actual retail job during my last year of college, to get some extra money on the side. But here are the main ones to why I'm qualified to do this. So I've been part of DSB, which is a professional fraternity, Delta Sigma Pi, where it teaches you exactly everything that I'm going to teach you in this video in 2 to 1 year. I've been there for 2 years now. I mean, now I'm not there anymore, but everything from resume prep, interviews, jobs, internship, applications, how to prep for an interview. Everything I'm teaching you now in this 30 minute to 1 hour video is what they taught me in 2 years. So you guys are getting the whole shebang in a couple of minutes, which is really cool. I was also an intern at KPMG over the summer of 2023, which was really fun. I'm an accounting major, and I was able to finally go into a Big 4 corporate job. Learned a lot, made a lot of great friends. I'm living with one of them next month. I'm moving in with one of the interns right over here, Griffin. I learned a lot, going from working on footnotes to working on financial statements. I was able to work on 2 multi-billion-dollar companies, Citi and Barclays, 2 of the biggest banking clients that KPMG has. It was really a cool way to learn. We were doing a Q2 ending or Q3 ending, which was a lot of pressure. I had to work on the footnotes and the financial statements to be able to submit them to the SEC and submit them to Citibank for them to review our work. and it was really cool. Learned a lot from that. Great experience. And also, I was also a National Geographic extern. Now, this wasn't through National Geographic. It was through the extern program. I will leave a link down below if you do want to sign up for one of the externships that you could do. There's a $500 stipend if you complete it. It's literally 10 to 15 hours a week. I did a nature thing, but you can do consulting, accounting. There's PwC, which is a big name. It's Beats by Dr. Dre, now owned by Apple. But check out the link below, submit your resume and see if you get the job. It's a really cool learning experience. It's not a lot of work. It ranges from 5 to 8 weeks, depends on what you do. But I learned a lot working on teams, working on projects, submitting my first story map. Maybe I'll put a picture of what that is, but really learned a lot from that experience. And yeah, that's why I'm qualified. I've done externships, I've done internships, full times, volunteering for 7 years, New York Roadrunners. I've done a lot. And I finally, just to also say, I've gotten a return offer from KPMG starting in 2025. 2024, I'm studying my master's and my CPA at the same time, and next year I will start KPMG as a full-time audit associate. So yeah, that's why I think I'm qualified to do this video. If you have any questions on any of these experiences, my email is down below, or my LinkedIn is down below. Send me a note, send me an email if you want to do a little coffee chat and talk about it, what advice I have to give you, or if you want to work on some stuff that we're going to go over in this video. Feel free to leave a comment or message me on one of those platforms. I'm gonna try my best to answer. I'm not really doing much this year, so we can schedule some stuff. Let me know. Now we're moving on to chapter 3, which is my favorite one, which is the resume. Actually, my second favorite. I like interview prep much better. But quick disclaimer, this is an accounting resume. I do accounting, so I need to meet the requirements. Make sure you check your work's requirements or your industry's requirements on how they want your resume to be. This is gonna be a format that is above the average resume starting kit. I guess that's the best way I can say it, above average. It will give you all the basics that you need to know how to make a good resume. I'm not gonna go into specific accounting resume things, but if you're not accounting, I wouldn't copy my resume word for word, but listen to the advice I'm gonna give you because that has to do with what you need to do, I guess. So you're gonna see, this was my resume in 2018 before I was in college. It was really bad. You can see a huge difference from 2018 to 2024. I definitely learned a lot from Delta Sigma Pi. And now we're gonna go more into specifics of how I got to the 2024 resume, which is this year. So you're gonna notice there's 4 sections, well technically 5. The first section is your name, email, phone number, and LinkedIn. Now, a lot of people put their addresses in short, like New York, and then your zip code. I don't. I prefer not to because anyways in your application you're gonna say where you live, and it just doesn't look pretty on the resume. And also for some people, for some companies, they might not see you as a long-term employee. So say a job is in Texas but you're living in New York City, they're gonna hesitate to give you an internship because they want to give you a full-time offer if you do really well, and they don't know if you're gonna want to relocate. So for them, for a lot of companies, that is a little hesitation point. Do we want to give this kid an internship or a job? I mean, for jobs, they will ask you if you want to relocate, so it's pretty simple. But for internships, they're not, long term, I don't know if they're going to judge you on this. This is just my personal opinion. If you want to put your address, it won't really impact you that much. It's just what I think. I think they might take that into consideration. But second section, education. So I do have master's and undergrad on there, but if you just have undergrad, put a little bit more details if you want. How I did it is I put first my master's, because that's the most current thing I'm doing, and then my undergrad, which is University of Buffalo. Make sure you put the full name. So I put also comma the State University of New York, because it is a SUNY. September 2020, May 2024, Bachelor of Science, BS in Accounting, and then honors cum laude. You can put your GPA only, I always suggest only if it's 3.5, 3.0 and above. Usually that's a really good GPA, but some jobs, 3.0 is not that good. I'm sure for nursing, anything with science or political related, they probably want 3.5 and above. But again, do your own research. I would not put it if you have 3.0 and under. That is just basic thing that you need to know. So if you have a 2.9, don't put it. Don't try to round it up. Just leave it like that. Make it nice and clean. If you haven't graduated, make sure to put your expected graduation date. Like for me, I put September, expected graduation, December 2025, so that whoever you're applying to knows when you're graduating. Any awards, just like cum laude, Latin honors, put them. I would always put in parentheses what the honors is. So say you got the presidential award in college, I don't know what it's really called. Say, 4.0 and above, or I don't know. But specifics, it's good for the company to know what that means if they don't know what it is. And also make sure your major and your school are written in the best way possible in complete terms. So Masters of Science, MS, Accounting. That is how the description on the website of FIU looks like. Put that. Do not round it out. Don't just put Bachelor's of Accounting. They're not gonna know what that is. You gotta put BS first, or MS. Don't just put accounting major. That doesn't look pretty. Third section is experience. This is where you put all of the jobs that I had put in the experience slide all into here. So make sure it's chronological order. Don't put something in 2023 and then 2024. Doesn't make sense. You want to make sure it's lined up. All right. Also the title. So this is every person has a different way of doing it. The way I do it is I put the company in bold, the location next to it, no bold. Under, I put the actual role of me in italics and bold because it's visible, and then the date right next to it. I know some people put the date all the way over here. That's fine if you want to do that. I personally am not the biggest fan of that. I like it when it looks clean. Everything is in one little corner. But yeah, make sure you find your way of doing it. As long as all the information is there and it looks clean, that's all that matters. If you want to put everything on one line, that's fine. Just make sure you distinguish them. So all they want to see really is the company and your role. That's why Buffalo, New York, and the date is not in bold. The other thing, most relevant jobs should be the longest. That's something I always say. So for me, if I'm applying to an accounting job, a full-time job, I want to make sure that KPMG, that's the only accounting experience I have, has the most bullet points, goes more into depth, really shows them that is the section you want to look at first. They're going to look at the longest section first. That's just what they're going to do. So as you can see, it is the only one with 3 bullet points because I have a lot to talk about and I want to show them everything that I've learned. Then D, this is something that not a lot of people know, but you have to use power words at the beginning of each sentence. So you're going to see in orange, initiate, proactively, conducted, collaborated, assisted, acquired, mastered. These are big words. These are words that the scanner, the AI scanner, when you submit your resume, is gonna look for. If they just see, I worked at the cash register and made sure that people paid. That is not good. Something I do recommend, do not do this fully. Use ChatGPT in your advantage, but do not copy and paste. These have not been copy and pasted. These are out of my words. I did use ChatGPT to help me make those sentences, but they're not plagiarized. So these are actual things that I did. Don't just be like, ChatGPT, give me 3 bullet points of KPMG as an intern of audit. What should I write? What I did on ChatGPT is I completely wrote, hey, this is what I did at KPMG. I did footnotes, I did financial statements, I learned this. This is what I did. I did walkthroughs, I did reports. These are don't put actual information. These are the companies I audited. Can you give me a couple of bullet points of examples of how I should write them? They're gonna give you a little thing. And then from that, write your own thing. Just don't take it from ChatGPT. The AI scanners now understand how to read it. They're not dumb. They're gonna know how you write and how, mostly if you do a cover letter. If they see that your resume and your cover letter are very different wordings, it's pretty obvious. Not that they're gonna check, it's just have some integrity, make sure it's your own work. Mostly when it comes to applying for jobs, just keep it safe. It doesn't take that much time. It's very simple. So power words, make sure the way you introduce your company is really well done, clean, and distinguishable. And again, most relevant goes first. Most relevant job is the longest. That's all I have to really say. Look at mine and then mimic yours if you want. The next section, the fourth, is leadership and professional organization. This could be anything from volunteering to clubs, Greek life, socials. I don't know if you want to put those. I was in a professional fraternity, so we didn't do anything stupid. We really just taught what I'm teaching you right now. So I'm very confident putting it, and I put community service. It's a good look on me. If you did any volunteering over the summer, if you're volunteering during work, if you did charities, this is what you want to put it. If you did any clubs like the account, I know UB has UBAA, UB Accounting Association. Really good club to put there. It shows that you are wanting to learn more about your major, you're making connections, you're working towards your future career, anything like that. The only one I would not put is social fraternities, unless you were someone like related to finance, community service. But if you were brotherhood, like the person organizing the parties, unless you can make it sound really good without having to say you did parties and bought alcohol, I would not put it. Play it safe. The last section is technical skills. This, you can put anything from languages, certifications, skills of software, hardware, processors, any apps you built, anything that you want the resume to look for certain words. I know it's stupid and everyone knows how to use Instagram, PowerPoint, Gmail, but put it. For me, the biggest thing is Excel, which is not, oh, it is there. Excel is there. They want people to have Excel on their resumes for accounting. It is your best friend. It is what you're gonna work with every single day in your life. So make sure to put that. Anything that you can think of. Lifeguarding certifications. I have an Apple certification. Languages you speak, and you'll be perfectly fine. Pause if you want to. Take a look at your resume. Compare it. Make sure it's built, but do not apply to jobs until you actually update your resume to the fullest. If you want to send me your resume after you've edited yours and you want me to review it, my email is right up here. So just send it away and I'll review it. Just give me some time and be polite. Don't just send me a random resume. Not that I think I'm gonna get any emails, but say, hi, how are you? I watched the video. Could you please take a look at my resume? And yeah, there you go. So let's go into chapter 4, which is application. This is one of my favorite ones to show. This is gonna be the exact same slides that I taught for my pledge class in Delta Sigma Pi. I literally just copy and paste it. So you guys are literally getting what I presented to my pledge class. All right, chapter 4, again, like I said before, these are the exact same slides that I did for my fraternity. I even used the logo. So how does the interview process work? I'm gonna give you every step of how it should go from researching a job to getting accepted or denied. Hopefully it's accepted. I wish you the best of luck. So step 1 is research the company that you are interested in. So how do you do that? I would use Google and LinkedIn if you're looking for internships, externships, full-time. And if you're a student just looking for an internship or full-time and you have access to your school's kind of network, I don't know, they know schools are connected with some companies, use Handshake, it's really good. Now the keyword I said is research, not applying. This is just to find a company or find a job that you really like by looking at the description over here, so job description, what you're gonna do. And once you find what you're gonna do, I'm gonna use PepsiCo as an example. I think that's the one I used for my pledges. So say I like I saw over here PepsiCo and I really like it. I like the job description. What I'm gonna do is now on Google, I'm gonna look up PepsiCo summer intern accounting control, the exact title that you saw on Google, LinkedIn, or Handshake, and go on their actual website. Now the reason I say that is a lot of those LinkedIn and Google things, they're gonna make you apply from third parties, like Way Up is a big one, and I don't know where that information goes. They're gonna ask you to upload your resume, not for the job, but to the platform. And on your resume, there's your phone number, your email. If you put your address on there, they have your address, your full name, they have a lot. That information could get sold to some scamming companies to get your phone number, to give you a call, to try to scam you. Oh, you got the job. Hey, would you mind paying a deposit? People might fall into it. I would just not trust it. Apply directly through the company's website. It's the safest way. And also, I did Way Up and I got so many spam emails that I had to literally, I couldn't unsubscribe, I couldn't block them. I had to create a whole new email to get rid of that. And I did that with a lot of third parties. So from my experience, do not apply from those LinkedIn, Google, Handshake jobs. Just go to their company's website. So you can find the job on the actual company's website. Again, before you apply, make sure your resume is up to date. We just went over it, so go back to that section if you want to get a better idea, I guess. Also, you'll know it's a legitimate company when you get an email saying we've received your application. So this is what it would look like. So sometimes they show you how it works. They'll give you the whole timeline. Sometimes thank you for applying. We'll reach back out to you in a couple of weeks or months. But that's how you know it's an authentic company and you didn't apply through a third party that says, oh, thank you for applying through Way Up. Your application has been sent. You want to make sure it comes directly from the actual company. Usually it will end with careers or talentacquisition.com, something like, or Pepsi.com, something like that. This is an example of how to find, before we go to the third step. So I searched up accounting internship KPMG. Once I found the exact same title, look at the titles are the same. And then I went on their actual website. I didn't do it through Google. Again, just wanted to give you another example. So what is step 3? Step 3 is to be patient. A lot of people are like, oh, I didn't get an interview. It's been 2 weeks, it's been a week. Sometimes it could take 3 months. For me to get a job at Apple took me over 6 months to hear back from them. KPMG took me around 2 months and a half. Please be patient. Do not think you're gonna get rejected. Until you got the email, you have not been rejected yet. They will always send you an email 99% of the time. Sometimes they don't. That sucks, but it means it wasn't meant to be. Just wait it out. It's very hard to get an email within a week. It's so rare. So please don't start shitting your pants. Don't start getting impatient. And again, keep applying to other jobs. Don't apply to one and wait for the answer. Keep applying, be proactive. Apply to 10 a day or 10 a week, 10 a month. 10 a month is very low, 50 a month. Have a schedule, but don't just do 10 in one day and then take a whole month off and wait for those 10 to come back in. Do a regular schedule. What I did is during my summer for KPMG, I did 5 a day. I would apply to 5 internships, externships, or leadership positions or like rotational programs a day. And then after a month, I was like, all right, I'm done. 30 times 5, you can do the math. I don't really know it, but that's a lot of internships or a lot of applications. So be patient. Step 4 is interview prep. Now, don't pause this video. I'm gonna go way more into detail on chapter 5, which is the next one, of how to prep for an interview once you got the interview. So this is the email you would get. Hey, are you available to do an interview at this date, at this time? But again, we're gonna go more into details in the next chapter. Then you write a thank you email. After you did the interview, you did it very well, or you think you did it very well, write a thank you email. I'm gonna go more into details of what that looks like, but when you're doing an interview, take notes on what the person is saying. If you're asking a question or if they're talking about the company or you talked about something interesting, take notes. It's okay to take notes. Ask them at the beginning of the interview, hey, is it okay if I have a pen and paper to take some notes of if you say something really important or something I really find interesting? And then mention those things in the email, make it personal. So for example, mine was, I really enjoyed our conversation and loved hearing about how you use the PepsiCo way in your day-to-day tasks. Acting as owners is definitely one that I want to work on and experience if I get to intern with the firm. I mentioned something, you don't want to make it boring. Hey, thank you so much for your time, for having me. I hope to hear from you soon. There's no personality in there. Mention things that you talked about. It makes it more personal. It shows that you paid attention. It shows that you really made a connection. Step 6, pretty much wait for it. Of course, you're gonna get some bad news. Of course, you're gonna get some good news. This is an example of KeyBank when I got rejected. That was a really bad interview. It was when I was studying for finals. There was a case study that I did not study. And during the interview, I just pretty much biggest L of my life. I didn't have enough time to study it and it was horrible. Now this is the KPMG offer that I got. That was good news. Congratulations, KPMG is pleased to offer you the position of audit intern. And of course, they're gonna give you a little link. Make sure to do the onboarding very quickly. Don't wait for an offer to expire. Sometimes they're within 24 to 48 hours. And also when you have good news, sometimes they'll call you. I know EY and KPMG gave me a call to say, hey, I just wanna say congratulations on getting the offer. We're gonna send you an email really quickly. So if you get calls, do not think it, even if it says scam, answer it. Worst case scenario, you just hang up right away. But sometimes it is the actual companies. So answer to any call you get. All right, I hope you got an idea of how to apply to an internship, the whole researching, actually applying to your resume, to prep, which we're gonna go more into the next chapter, and how to get your news and how to be patient and proactive. Next chapter is my actual favorite one. This is the one that I love teaching to my pledges. It is how to prep for an interview. And I'm gonna give you a lot of information. Feel free to take some notes. Feel free to screenshot these. I blocked any important information, but yeah, let's go and let's dive right into it. I'm very excited for this one. This is my favorite section. Interview prep, my favorite chapter. This is the one I love teaching because there's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge for you guys to learn. This is what I do every time I have an interview and I have to prepare for it. I create a Google Doc or a Word document and it looks something like that. I'm gonna skim through it, but it looks something like that. So I'm gonna put EY, this is my EY prep interview. I did get the internship offer, but turns out I was not ready for it. It was during my school year and they wanted me to be in New York, but I'm in Buffalo. So I ended up rejecting the offer. But this is what it looks like. The first thing you'll see is the purpose and their core values. So always know the mission statement or the purpose of the company, because you can get a lot of information out of it of what their goals are, and you can align your goals to their goals during the interview. This is a good way to show the interviewer that you did your research, you know what their core values are, and you know what their mission statement is. So for example, core values could be curious and purpose-driven, inclusive, and traveling. I don't know how traveling is one of them, but during the interview, imagine they ask you, what is a great skill that you have? What are some of your skills? What makes you a great candidate? You can be like, I'm very curious and purpose-driven. They cannot hate that answer. It is straight from their values. It shows that you did research, or it shows that you're a perfect match. They're gonna be like, wow, that is crazy. That is our value. These are our values. He's curious and purpose-driven. That's what we're looking for. That's what our company's based off of. We need this guy. Their mission statement is, we develop outstanding leaders who team to deliver. I'm not gonna read everything, it's so small. But you can be an outstanding leader. That could be one of your skills. You love delivering. You love doing things on time. I don't know, figure it out. But mission statement and values, you can get a lot of information out of it to use into your actual interview. After that, this is something that I always tell people to do. You don't have to, but I always research topics of conversation. So why I do this? So I always find two, one that has to do with community service and one that has to do with technology. I look at the website of EY and I'll be like, what have they been doing in community service? What have they been doing in technology? The reason I do this is, imagine they ask you, what do you know about the company? Or what do you like about EY? Why would you choose EY over another firm? What I could do is, I love you guys because you guys are really involved in community service. That is a deep passion that I have. I worked at NYRR, which is this right over here, that relates to what I'm gonna say. I do community service, I've been doing it for 7 years, and you guys have been doing so much for the environment, trying to go to net zero by 2025. That is huge, that is really important to me. That is a huge value, that is one of my values, which I wanna work for a firm that goes above and beyond to help the environment. They're not gonna say that's a horrible answer. That is a perfect answer. He's not just gonna say, oh, it's a great firm, it's well known. No, he cares about the environment. He has his values. That is something that is really good to say. If you have any questions for the interview, like maybe technology, what have you guys been doing for technology? I was an Apple beta developer. Or is there any opportunities? Is there any leadership positions that I can take either for community service or technology if I'm an intern or a full-time employee? This is just two topics, have them out. HR people know basics of the whole company. They'll be able to bullshit you an answer. Who knows if that's actually true or not? They don't know everything on top of their head. If I mention ethical norms of technology, they're gonna find a way to go around that question and tell you about technology, but not what you asked. But it's good, they're gonna take notes. Hey, he did his research, he knows about our company really well. It looks like he really likes our company. Maybe we should give him the job. That's why I always do it. Now, the most important thing in an interview is the about myself. It is the first question they're gonna ask you. First thing they're gonna do when you go into the interview, they're gonna tell you a little bit more about themselves and be like, hi, my name is Jamie, I've been working here, there. But then they're gonna be like, so can you tell me more about yourself? Who are you? Who are you? So a lot of people do this really wrong. So there's two ways to go about this. You can give your elevator pitch, which is, I'm not gonna go over option one, that's too basic for me, or make it a story. I like making a story because this is gonna be the hook of a book, the hook of the interview. What's gonna get them to fall in love with you as a candidate, as a person, as an employee? This is really the time to show off who you are in a quick minute and get them to fall in love with you, and also make yourself stand out of other candidates. You can put a lot of personal information into this, instead of, oh, why'd you choose EY? There's no real personality into that one, but this one you get to share emotions, personality, leadership, characteristics that you have that set you apart from other people. The way I go about this, and I'm gonna say one thing, there is a lie in here, but I'm gonna give you my reasoning, and please, 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 please be careful if you do this. So, I usually start with, hi, my name is Theo Ponce, but you can call me Theo. I'm an accounting major at the University of Buffalo. I was born in France and moved to the US when I was 11 years old because of my dad's job. My dad used to travel a lot. It caused my family to live in 4 different countries, and now I'm able to speak 5 languages. That's what I call section 1. Section 1, make it a personal statement with some obvious and hidden fun facts. For example, personal, but you can call me Theo. Now we're getting personal. The interviewer's like, oh, okay, I can call him Theo instead of Theodore. It makes it a little nicer. I give a fun fact. I was born in France. That's a really cool fun fact. If you have one, tell them. And then I give them some kind of hidden fun facts, like, hey, like I lived in 4 other countries. I speak 5 languages. These are kind of like, you can't really tell from just looking at me, and they're gonna be like, wow, that is really cool. That's a very diverse candidate. You can go into specifics. I didn't go into the 4 countries I live. That's gonna waste a lot of time. They're not gonna have time to know all of that. So that's section 1, personal, fun facts, and more about you. And of course, where do you go to school? If you're full-time, I went to school at University of Buffalo, but yeah. Section 2 looks like this. I first started as an aerospace engineer, but later took an accounting class and started getting more and more interested. I later switched to accounting and joined a professional fraternity called Delta Sigma Pi, where I learned many skills such as being a professional, being a leader, and improving many of the skills I didn't know I even had. So, disclaimer, I was never an aerospace engineer. This is just a lie that I tell a lot of companies, because one, they can't track that lie, they can't fact check it, unless they call the college and ask for the exact record of my choices, which again, they can't get for privacy reasons, I think, I'm not sure. I say this lie because it shows that I was able to make a decision. I went for a major and I ended up not liking it. And I made the decision to switch to accounting. I started as marketing, by the way. I went from marketing to accounting. But it shows them that you know how to make decisions. It shows them that you didn't have that much information at hand and you still switched to accounting. So imagine they ask you in the interview, oh, what's one time where you had to make a choice or decision or action, but you didn't have all the information at hand? This is perfect lie that I go to. Oh, well, I first started as an aerospace engineer. I love space. I love NASA. That was one of the companies I really wanted to work for. But later, when I took some classes, I realized this wasn't me. This wasn't my goal in life. This wasn't my passion. My friend told me about accounting. I didn't really know much about it, but I decided to take it. Hey, why not? I'll try it. It's college. It's my first year. I get to switch as many times as possible or only take prerequisites. And after taking a couple of accounting courses, I started liking it. The fact that you get to be, you question everything. You have to fact check it. You kind of have to check everything. It became a passion, and I like math. Not too much, but I like math. That would be a perfect answer. It shows you can make a lot of decisions without information, and you made it a really good decision. So that's section 2. Show them some skills of why you chose your major. If you have a story of how you chose it, say it, but very quickly. Now my third section, very easy. This is kind of a kiss-ass section. I always go, and now here I am interviewing at UI, which is a company I admire a lot. The notes I put is after you having said your story of how you got where you are today, finish it off with a soft touch, and there I am interviewing for a company, so on and so on. You can add why you admire the company. I choose to keep it in short, broad terms, because they're gonna be like, oh, like, why do you admire us? And I'll be like, oh, well, this is my next one. This is why I chose EY. Or you go back to section 1 of the 2 things. It's all structured. So about me, make it a story, or if you want to, an elevator pitch. I'm not very familiar with elevator pitches. I haven't done them in a while, but I think it's your name, your major, what internship, what experience do you have, and then you finish it off with, this is what I would love to do in the future. Can I get your LinkedIn or stuff? But you wouldn't say that in an interview. That's why I don't like it. It's very robotic, in my opinion. Make it a story, make them hooked to you. All right, and then why accounting for you? Why finance? Why nursing? I don't know what you're gonna do. Why politics? Have 3 bullet points. For me, we had a project that I really liked and it really got me into accounting. I like the auditing. I question a lot of things. When someone says a statement in my friend group or people that I meet, I'm always like, are you sure about that? And then I research it. I'm like, you were right, or hey, that's wrong. Yes, a lot of people hate when I say you're wrong. I'm sorry. Friends, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. You're just who I am. I have to fact check it. But also, you have opportunities to fact check me, because sometimes I say a lot of stuff and it's not true. This is all true, by the way. So don't click off. And then another one, into specifics, why the project. But that I can't really tell you more. Just make sure you have that on hand. Make sure you know that and you practice it. Because I know in business, they always ask you, why did you choose that? In accounting, it's a very common question. Because they want to know, did you just do it for the money? Did you do it because there's a lot of jobs available? It's one of the only ones with a lot of jobs. 3rd and 4th page look like this. What are you passionate about? A successful event. I usually put questions that I need to think about them. Like skills that I have, I know what I can say. If they ask me about what's the time where I'd have an information at hand, I know what to say. This is always one that I'm always hesitating on. What's an event that you were very successful on and passionate about? Because they're always gonna hit you with, what is your definition of success? And I never know how to think about this out of hand. So write some questions down that you think they could trick you up. For me, it was passionate about a successful event. I talked about a rundown that I did for the fraternity. Boom. Take a look at it. I'm not gonna go into details. All right. Another important thing is questions for interviewers. That is a huge one. This is how I go about it. Your first question should be a personal question that only they can answer. Oh, what is one of your favorite memories at EY? What is one thing that you like about the EY culture? Something like that. Second question is company question. What is one of your projects that you liked working at EY? That kind of asks about, they're gonna talk about the communication, the teamwork and all that. That's kind of a company-based questions. Or what do you enjoy when you do the community service day at EY? What is one thing you enjoy doing with your coworkers? Something like that. A kind of a company-related question, but also personal, company/personal. And the third one is leadership opportunities for incoming interns or full-time. I love hitting them with I love community service. Is there any leadership roles that I can take when I'm interning or working full-time at EY? I really want to get involved in the community service aspect of the company. That is a great question. They might have an answer. They might be like, oh, let me get back to you on that one. And then that forces them to write you an email. Isn't that great? They could write you an email if they don't know the answer at hand. Or if they say something, be like, hey, would you mind emailing me that? Because I might forget it. Or, hey, can I note that down? It shows such great initiative. You could say that about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, community service, anything else that you could do, projects related. Is there any project that I can always volunteer to go on? I don't know. Usually this is the last part of the interview. I don't know why it's so high. And then make sure when you're finished with the interview, you ask for their email or their LinkedIn so that you can send the thank you email. Email is preferred, but say you forgot, at least write their name down, or if you remember their name, you'll know, and connect with them on LinkedIn and then send them a note. Then why EY or why the company, make sure you know that. I'm not gonna go into details. You can pause and read that on your own. All right, why me is a very important section too. I always have 4 words. If they say, oh, why should we hire you? Or what makes you, what separates you from other people? I always say 4 things: hardworking, organized, leadership or leader, and empathetic. Make sure they relate to your job. You wouldn't say that for a nurse, I guess, but make sure they relate to your job. Organized is very important for accounting. You have to be organized when you do your stuff. You're working with 8 Excel sheets at the same time. You're opening tabs open. You cannot be disorganized. I say hardworking. Of course, that's an easy one. That's a no-brainer. Leadership. I have a lot of leadership positions, as you can see on my experience page on the second chapter. I have a lot of experience. I've been a leader my whole life. Now this is the one I love saying. Empathetic in 2024 and coming 2025 has been one of the biggest words that interviewers look for in qualities of employee. With mental health and being more and more correct in the workplace or ethical, you have to be able to be empathetic. And I put that in the notes. Great opportunity to take from the core values. Also take these from the core values that we talked about over here. I didn't put them in those one. Curious, purpose-driven. Looks like I didn't really do it really well, but do that. Empathy is a big up-and-coming word that interviewers are looking for. This is, I don't know if you know what empathy is. I'll put a definition right here because I don't know the perfect definition. But it is pretty much when you're able to understand and share feelings with another, which has been rising subject in leadership lately. I don't know who it was, but someone wrote a book about empathy in the workplace. I always talk about class presentations, but you have to be able to understand your coworkers or your peers, your bosses. So say one of your coworkers didn't do their work and you guys were on a team, you can't just yell at them. You gotta be, hey, what was going on? Is there anything I can help you with outside of work? What happened? Tell me. You can trust me. I can listen in. It shows that you really want to connect with your workers, your intern friends, your bosses, your employees. Long run, it is a very useful skill to have. And if you don't have empathy, build up on it. But yeah, that's pretty much the 4 words I always use. Last page having to do with interview prep is things to mention. I'm gonna go over this really quickly. Have 5 to 7 stories ready, up and going. For me, when they ask me about, oh, what's a great time when you had a successful event? I know success, I can talk about run-a-thon. Oh, can you tell me about a decision-making time? Oh, I moved from accounting from an aerospace engineer. Oh, what are some of your hobbies? I can go to YouTube channel, Apple Developer, I did that for free. Or I did community service for 7 years. Can you tell me about a time where you had a challenging project or you had a challenging teammate? SUA, challenging. Oh, MGS project, no communication. I know exactly where to jump and what story to tell them if they ask me a behavioral or situational question. That's it. Have stories ready to go. STAR method, if you want to learn how to do this, look up behavioral and situational questions and then write examples of how you would answer it. Don't write a whole paragraph, just SUA, run-a-thon, VPFCS, MGS project. Then, how do you answer a behavioral and situational question? I'm gonna try to go, we're already probably around the 40-minute mark. So, STAR method is how you answer situational and behavioral questions. S, situation. Explain the situation. So say they ask you, tell me about a time where you had a successful event. How I would answer it. Situation. Explain the event. Don't even say anything successful. Don't even say too much about how it happened. But hey, for my fraternity, I planned a community service event, which was run-a-thon. The way I wanted to do it is people don't like doing community service very often, mostly when you're a ton of college students, but people like doing outdoors activity that doesn't have to go to a place or, like, for example, soup kitchens. I was trying to find a way to match fun and community service. What I came up with is run-a-thon. It's not with an organization, we're doing it on our own. We're raising money for the Live Like Luca Foundation. And also we're outdoors, we're running. We're doing a little running, we're doing a little bit of events, we have food, we have snacks. You can't say no to that. Task. What was the actual task? So the task was to run laps. Just for being a runner, you had to find a sponsor that will sponsor you for $10 and then an extra $1 for every other lap you do after 10. So say you do 20 laps, you will be paying $20, the initial $10, and then the $1 per lap, 22 laps, $22. But if you only run 5 laps, you get $10 to charity. Don't say any of the results yet. Right now you're just setting the mood. So that was the task, to find a sponsor or to run, but one of the two had to be done. Then assess what happened during that. So during that event, we managed to raise $640 of money for the Live Like Luca Foundation. It was a really successful event. Everyone had a great time. A lot of runners, people were able to run a lot of laps, walk, talk, laugh. We played some games like spike ball on the side or badminton, and food and snacks were served and water. So we were all having a great time. I think it was really successful because of the feedback I received and the amount of money we were able to raise for a charity. That's the assessment. Now, you always want to say a resolution. This is what I think we could have done better. I think we could have gotten more people outside the fraternity to join this event. We could have gone to the school and asked them, hey, can you promote this event so that we can get as much money raised? And maybe the school can donate some money. We could have maybe reached 1,000 if the school gave in $400. Or they said, maybe we'll match you. We'll match how much you raise. That's what I think we could have done better. But still, and then end it with a successful thing. I still think it went really well from what I've heard. Repeat what you said before. From what I've heard and from the amount of money we were able to raise for community service, this was the most we've ever raised in history in our fraternity. Boom! That was the best answer you could have ever have answered. So this is the most important page to know. This is what I always say. They're always gonna give you situational and behavioral. Always know this. Now the last page is used for notes, answers to questions, and emails of the names and the emails of the interviewers. For example, this is what mine looked like with EY. I can't really read, but at the end, I blocked their email, but I set their email. What we talked about the SUA, we talked about her favorite project at EY, we talked about lookups, and we talked about, tell me about a time you had to make a decision. This is what I answered. When I write the thank you email, I'm gonna mention all of this in the email. And also why audit or tax. I chose audit because it's client facing, pretty much that. Always have notes. Take notes, it looks good, and ask them permission at the beginning. Not permission, but tell them ahead of time. When the interview starts, be like, hey, before we start, do you mind if I just have a notepad or if I type on my laptop some notes of things that you might say that I wanna retain, or if you say something really important, I do wanna have it noted down. They're never gonna say no, they're gonna be like, that's a really good initiative. Yes, be free to do that. That completes the whole interview prep. The next few sections, I promise, are gonna go really quick. Hopefully we're done in 10 minutes. I know this is a long video, but again, this is a lot. This is 2 to 3 years of knowledge in an hour. You need to know all this. All right, so the actual interview, how do you behave? How do you dress? I'm gonna go all into it. We only have 6 slides remaining, so it's gonna go really quick. All right, so I know most interviews now are online, but please do not do this where you're in shorts or you're in pajamas, but the top is professional. Now, this is not because they're gonna catch you. I've never had a situation when someone asked me, hey, can you show down there, what are you wearing? But how you're gonna dress is how you're gonna act in the interview. If you're half dressed, like casual, but then you have pajama pants, it's gonna reflect on how you speak to them. You're not gonna feel you're gonna feel a little comfortable. You're gonna be like, hey, what's up? Instead of, hey, how's it going? Like it does impact you. Some people are really good at managing it, but I would always recommend, if you haven't done too many, to always be in professional outfit, even if you're not showing the bottom. Like right now, I'm in a polo. I could have been in shorts doing this video, but guess what? I'm gonna jump. I'm in dress pants. So I took this pretty seriously. I know that if I was wearing shorts, I would kind of be too personal with you guys and I would kind of go off topic a couple of times. So please, for guys, I always recommend, this is the fit. I'm wearing a polo and pants and a belt, or you can put a shirt and a tie. You don't really need a blazer. If you really want to, go for it, but you don't have to. Girls, also, if there is an in-person interview, make sure that the belt matches your shoe color and that you're not wearing Nike socks. Please wear black socks or dress socks. Do not wear short socks. They will notice that, and it is a big no-no. It means you know nothing about business. Again, dress for your actual job. This is more business related. But please, this is what it looks like for guys. Ladies, I'm not a girl. I wouldn't know, but this is what I found on the internet, and also from what I've asked some female friends how they dress for interviews. They said, yep, blazer, a nice little shirt, and pants. I don't know, but this is what it would look like, I assume. Make sure the collars match. Same with you guys. But yeah. Second thing we're gonna go over is the best way to stall or get more time for a question when you have to think about them. So there's 3 options that I always tell people if you are hesitating on an answer. First option, always have a glass of water, like I have one right here, or a water bottle or a mug. Say they say the question and you don't know what to answer, or this is when you need a quick stall, like 5 seconds. Be like, hi, do you mind if I take a sip of water real quick before I answer that? They're gonna say yes. Drink. Make sure if you have a glass that you have to fill more water up if you need more time. That will give you 5 to 10 seconds to think of your answer. Option 2, this is an average stall. This is like, it could give you 15 seconds to 10 seconds. Option 2 is to ask them to repeat the question, or if they could elaborate on it. So say they ask you, what is a project that you had challenging times with? Be like, could you be more specific? Are you looking for an experience where it didn't go too well, or where the teammate was not very communicative? They're gonna repeat the question, give you a little more details. That gives you an extra 10 to 15 seconds. Also, while you're asking the question, you're thinking about the answer. Gives you a little bit more time. So I call that the average stall. Option 3, this is the SOS stall. I'm not a fan of doing this. I've never done it, but it is not frowned upon. If you really need more time to answer it, it's okay. Just ask politely for more time. Something like, would I be able to use a second or two to come up with my answer? Or the best one is, the most used one is, that's a really good question. Would you give me some time to think about it? They're gonna say yes. And this is a good time to really look up, think about it, be like, okay, I think I have my answer. Sorry about that. Make it polite, don't make it weird. Don't just stand there and be like, just act normal, make it nice and casual. Just be like, okay, gather your thoughts. Don't do that, but I would maybe write on your note, be like, sorry, I'm just drawing some notes. Just want to make sure I'm giving you the best answer as possible, or the best answer that reflects me. Something like that. So, cheating, having a cheat sheet on Zoom, I've always had a cheat sheet on Zoom. It's just something that I always have to do. This is how my setup looks like. It looks like this. I have the Zoom right here, and then under it, it looks big, like a full screen, but this is very tiny on the corner of my screen. It's literally like, imagine this is your full screen. It's gonna be right over here, and the camera is right above, right over here. Make sure it's right next to the camera. And then I have what I told you was the most important page, which is things to mention and star method. And then you can scroll if you want, but I would just stay on this page. Also, my glasses, you can see, are reflective. I always do interviews without glasses so that they can't see that I'm looking at my screen and I'm scrolling. They can't see that. If you don't have reflective glasses, you're good to go. Again, don't wear sunglasses. Very obvious, but I've seen people do it. But yeah, that's how I would cheat on Zoom. If you're gonna do it, but please don't make it obvious. Again, I'm gonna go over this. Make eye contact, have the camera right over where you're gonna have your cheat sheet, or if you don't need a cheat sheet, have your Zoom right under the camera so it looks like you're doing eye contact. Also, don't forget to smile. A lot of people, or be enthusiastic during your answers. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, so it was really fun. It was a really fun project I worked on. It really got me into, be like, yeah, this was the project that really got me into accounting. I love this. Get energized, get excited about your answer. They're gonna get excited if you get excited. You know, if someone's laughing, you're gonna start laughing. If I say a joke, I'm like saying it like, they're not gonna laugh. If I'm saying a story, I'm like, yeah, we had a really fun time. We went to Spain over the summer. It was really cool. Versus, dude, we went to Spain. It was insane. Like, this is common sense. All right, I'm gonna go straight to chapter 7. This is the next step. What you wanna do, very quick. This is gonna be a minute section, but what is the next step? So this is more after you've applied to jobs. There's no next step if you accept the job, of course. This is just start the job. But while you are doing applications, please, please, please be proactive. Keep applying. Don't think you're gonna get the first one that you applied to. I know it matches you, but don't think that. Don't apply for one day and stop the next week, or stop for a week. Make application goals, have more options. Think of the next one you apply, you will get it. So if you just applied to PepsiCo, but I'm gonna get the next one. The next one, I know I'm gonna get it, and then keep doing that. I always do goals. Like I told you guys, I did 5 applications for a whole month every day during my summer internship. For a summer internship. Luckily, I ended up getting the first one I applied to, but I still did for a whole month because they didn't answer me for a while. But have a goal. Maybe it's 1 application a day. Maybe it's 10 applications a week. Maybe it's 50 a week. Have a goal. And don't just go over here and just stop in the middle, out of nowhere. It's just, don't do that. Like, please just have a goal and actually stick to it. Applying nowadays takes like 5 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 if you have a lot of questions, but it's really quick. And then I'm gonna give you kind of my summary and advice. This is the last chapter, I promise, and after that we're done. That's gonna be a lot of editing to do, but my advice is, again, be proactive. Make sure you look up your resume requirements. So what does your job want you to have on your resume? What are they looking for? When you're applying, do not use third parties. Do not use Google, LinkedIn to actually apply through them. Just use them as researching tools. And again, network. If you have someone that works at a company, don't be afraid to message them on LinkedIn. Hey, would you be able to schedule a coffee chat? But please, if you know someone that works somewhere, schedule a coffee chat with them. If you don't know what a coffee chat is you send them a message on LinkedIn, or you send them an email. Hey, I'm really interested in your position and I admire you a lot. Or I see that you're doing great work and I like the company a lot and I want to see if it's a good fit for me. Would you be able to have lunch, have a coffee chat with me, or do a quick 15-minute call to learn more about what you do, to learn more about the company? And during that call, you can also be like, I think this is a great, at the end, be like, this is a great fit. Is there any way that you can take my resume and give it to someone? Or what's the best way to apply? It's a great way to learn more about the company and actually have an in it. And then when you apply to it, be like, can I use you as a reference? Maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll say no, but use that. Interview prep, please prep for interviews. Don't go in there and raw dog it. That's what happened with me and my KeyBank internship right here. Did not go well at all. It was the most embarrassing interview I've ever done. I'm gonna go back to this page, kind of show you everything. But really, be ready. I would say proactive, be ready, prep, and schedule coffee chats, network as much as possible. But yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it. Okay, so my camera died really quickly. I've been recording for an hour and this camera is overheating. It's burning, but thank you guys so much for watching the entire video. If you did, if you watched only some sections, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, share, like the video. If you have a friend that's looking for jobs, share them this video. It might help them a lot. This is, again, 3 years of experience into 1 hour, hopefully less, but a 1 hour video. And I did put a lot of work into this. This has been 1 month of putting all of my knowledge, asking a lot of my friends if my slides are good, anything they should add. A lot of contacting people that I know, professionals. So this is really a really good video if you are applying for jobs, or if you're very lost of how interviewing or getting an internship or an externship works. Again, linked below, there is the extern link. I'm gonna put it over here, extern link. If you wanna get an externship, affiliate link, you get $500 stipend at the end. But yeah, comment down if you have any questions. My email and my LinkedIn is in the description. Connect with me on LinkedIn or email me if you have any questions, if you want me to review a resume or anything like that, and I'll gladly do it. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching again. I hope you guys have a great summer. If you're watching this next year, 2025, good luck with everything. I really wish you guys the best of luck with your applications, with your job search. And yeah, it's been really fun. It's been 10 Against the Gold. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy, good luck.